Hi, welcome back to Cat's Choice Pet Sitting. Today we're going to be talking about pet safety. And whenever I do a meet and greet with an owner, I always go over a few things. I ask them, has the pet had an escape history? Do you have any emergency numbers that you want to leave with me? Do you have a consent form that you want to have me to have so in case I have to take them to the vet? Those are all good things to have on hand. I have a consent form that I leave for my pet sitter, and I leave my care credit card with her in case there is an emergency and she can't get a hold of me. Then she can just take those things to the vet with her. We talked in the last video about how sometimes when you're with the pets, they may have a higher stress level with you than they do with their owners. They may be wondering where their owner is, and they may feel the urge to go look for their owners. So that's why it's real important that you be on guard for any kind of escape. It could be an escape through the door, the front door as you're entering. It could be an escape when they're on the leash with you on a walk. So there are some steps that you can take to prevent those things from happening. And one of the things that I carry with me is I always carry a little plastic fence. It's like a little baby gate kind of thing, but it folds. Sometimes I use just a piece of cardboard, but I always, when I'm entering the home, I always have some kind of barrier blocking the door as I'm entering it. With cats, I usually use a piece of cardboard. With dogs, I always use that plastic fence, but with some cats I do feel the need to use both, and sometimes with some dogs too. So those are some things that you can use to block the door, so that you can catch them easily if they were to get out the door, or to even keep them from going out of the door in the first place. You want to be thinking like the pet, thinking about, they want to go see their owners. So that's why it's important when you're doing a dog walk, always have the dog on a harness. The owners may tell you, well, my dog doesn't need a harness. Yeah, they might not need one when they're with you, but when they're with a pet sitter, they may have a higher stress level. They may be thinking they want to run away and find their owner. So always have a dog on a harness. Small, medium, large dogs, always have them on a harness. If the owner is unwilling to get you a harness, then go ahead and invest in some harnesses that you can adjust and that are suited for the size of the dog that you have. So it's real important to have a harness. There are some sad stories about dogs that have gotten off of their collar and run away and gotten hit by a car. I think one that made the news, actually. It was a rover sitter, and because of that one incident, out of 50 million, it makes pet sitting look bad, and so we want to prevent those kinds of things from happening. I was walking a small dog, and I had him on the collar, and we had gone on a walk and did the meet and greet with the owners, and I felt comfortable with him being on the collar. And the second time that I sat for him, he was on the collar, and we were approached by another dog, and he whipped his head around, and if I had had any slack on that leash, I'm sure that he would have gotten away. And that afternoon I went out and got a harness for him. So I would highly recommend always having a harness. You never know what's going to happen. Always have them on a harness. Also, if they do run, if somehow they get loose and bolt, a harness is a great thing to be able to grab onto to get them. Some people even double leash their dogs that they're walking. I know we used to do that at the clinic. So double leashing a dog is not a bad idea. Leashes can always break. Anything can happen, but always try to do your best, since the safety of the pet is your highest priority, and is what you are being paid for. So so using barriers upon entry, preventing escapes, a harness, and double leashing are great ideas. I mentioned the previous video that when I enter a home, I always do a perimeter check, making sure there's no objects left out that the pets could ingest, or any poisonous materials or foods like grapes, onions, and garlic are poisonous for both dogs and cats. They cause kidney damage, and with the right amount, it can cause complete kidney failure. So any ingestion of a grape, onion, or garlic is an emergency and needs to be taken care of right away at the vet. You can also call animal poison control. Sometimes when you call the emergency vet, they'll have you call animal poison control first, but you could have someone call them for you on the way. So know your number for animal poison control. Some other things that you have to watch out for cats, you also have to watch out for lilies. Lilies are poisonous to cats. If they're left in the house by themselves with lilies and they eat any part of a lily, it can be fatal. So make sure that you're checking for those things. Poisonous plants, anything that they can ingest. If I see strings or rubber bands or anything out like that, it might be things that they normally play with their owner home, but I try to tuck them away in a drawer or something because I don't want them to ingest it while nobody is home and able to supervise them. So I put all those little things away that I've seen in the vet emergency room before, and try to get rid of them before something can happen. Also, it's a good idea to be familiar with animal CPR. There are a lot of good videos online that can show you how to do CPR on a cat or a dog of different sizes, so that's a good thing to have under your belt as well. Also, when I do a perimeter check, if there's a dog in the house and the owner just wants the dog to be let out in the backyard, for example, I always want to make sure that the area is secure. Some small dogs have actually squeezed out from under fences or in between where if you have a chain link fence and there's two posts and they don't quite meet together and there's a gap, small dogs can just squeeze right there and be thinking they don't know where their owners are. They may feel the urge to go and look for their owners, and they may want to escape for that reason. They might not do it when the owner is home, but when they have a sitter, someone that they're not super familiar with, they may want to escape. So check your perimeters, make sure it's safe. You can put the small dog on a harness and leash when you go out in the backyard if you are not comfortable with any gaps that you may see out there. Also, be aware that when you go outside with dogs in the backyard, you always need to supervise them. Never let them go in the backyard alone, for several different reasons. Large dogs can jump fences and escape, and small dogs can get taken by local raptors like eagles, owls, and hawks. So you really want to be careful and keep an eye on your small dogs and any pet that you let out in the backyard, especially small dogs and cats. The raptors will come get the cats too, cats and small dogs. So do keep an eye on them as well. And so, yes, with that, I just want to remind you down in the link below, if you're interested in Paw Tree pet products, they have lots of good, wholesome, natural ingredients, and they are designed specifically to help pets that have minor nutritional or health issues. You can check out the website below, browse the products, and you can even become a Paw Tree Pet Pro yourself if you would like to start a business of your own that way. That's available in the link down below as well. And I just want to thank you for joining me again for this episode of Cat's Choice Pet Sitting, and we'll see you in the next video. Happy pet sitting!